Your update messed up my computer. Received a call. User states ever since IT implemented the new VPN, every time her computer locks, she needs to restart the computer to log in. She gave me the error message smart card cannot be used, which sounded familiar, but I looked through footprints just to make sure. Then it became this message only appears when you leave the pin field blank. I said, Mom, do you have numlock on? She said no. I said hit numlock and try it again, and voila, she was able to log in again. Now, I've had plenty calls about numlock before, but this one had me confused because she claimed it only happened when the computer locked but not when she initially logged in. Then she comes out and says, I never thought about numlock. When I first log in, I use the numbers about the letters on the top row Q face palm. TLDR, please check numlock or at least be consistent with which set of numbers you use on the keyboard. My webcam isn't working for Zoom. What do I do? I work at a repair shop. I am a tech but also a sales guy. Today, we had a lady come in with a nice Lenovo laptop. She was freaking out because her webcam wasn't working, especially for Zoom. The first thing I noticed when she opened it is that it had a privacy slider, where it physically blocks the camera from seeing anything. All I did was open up Windows Camera app, move the slider, and the webcam was working again. Ironically, when I opened the app, it asked, is something blocking your camera, and then that disappeared when I moved the slider. This lady was baffled that it had a privacy slider. She said she had owned this laptop for 3 or 4 years and never noticed that. How do you own a computer for 3 or 4 years and not see something staring at your face? Whatever. She went on her way and so did I. Thankfully, a happy ending to one problem of the day. I knew there was a malfunction, just didn't think it was between the keyboard and the chair by user the IT custodian. I'm back in corporate after 5 long years in the MSP management space. I manage in all of US IT for small manufacturing company $US Corp with a half dozen sites that's part of a larger global company $Gran Fabricante. I'm still finding all the weird nooks and crannies in the systems and the idiosyncrasies of the offices and plants. Typical new guy stuff. Last week, I popped into our engineering group and I overheard the engineering director on the phone with someone. Engineering director, no. Click the little speaker icon, yeah, right click. Wisely, I back out of the engineering area. If it's a real problem, he'll get a ticket started. Our engineering group works in one space, and they are all there, so I cannot imagine who he's talking to, but if it's a problem for me, I'll eventually catch it. I like when users can effect a tier 0 fix. An hour or so later, I get a phone call to my desk phone from an unknown area code. Could be some vendor finally returning my call about something, so snag it. $me, $US Corp, the IT custodian speaking. Voice, hi, my name is Mike, I work for US Corp. I'm remote on the East Coast, I work for engineering director and I'm having problems with the sound on my laptop. I'd never heard of a Mike who works remotely, but was able to put 2 and 2 together. To be safe, I aim the engineering director to confirm this isn't some rando. Nope, Mike is our employee, does indeed work in another region of the country and not in any of our facilities. So I set about to help him. Because, I'm a helpful guy. Me, okay, Mike, let's see if we can do a remote session. Problem #1, my predecessor. A guy I'll call Bob. Relied on TeamViewer, but in the 3 months between Bob's departure and my arrival, the subscription lapsed and was cancelled. In any event, there's no credentials for the admin login yet, so basically TeamViewer is out for now. This is one of like 55 or 60 different things I've discovered in the last month, and while I am slowly but surely reducing the list of shit Bob did poorly or not at all, TeamViewer wasn't that high on the list yet. Side note, I'm deploying a remote management tool because holy god, going from an MSP environment with a full range of remote management and control tools to company with expired TeamViewer is like trying to play ping pong with both hands tied behind your back. You don't realize how good you had it until suddenly you don't, lol. Plus, I discovered Bob patently refused to update computers, like, not at all. I have some computers that are still on the first version of Windows 11, never mind all the security releases, etc., and then all the Windows 10 machines, and Windows 8, and Windows 7. Sign. I look, Mike's PC hasn't gotten the new remote agent. Oh, of course not, he's remote, probably doesn't ever use the VPN, so he'd never have gotten the GPO deployment of the remote agent. I email him a link to install the remote agent. Me, let's click on that link. Problem #2. $Bob told admin rights on the local computers to only a select few. Still no rhyme or reason I have found, but pro $Mike, who is 100% remote, has no ability to do anything if an admin login pops up. And of course, in the 3 months since $Bob left, $Gran Fabricante Corporate identity changed the domain admin password. Meaning $Mike might have a cached admin login on the PC, but I have no idea what the old domain admin password was. Yes, password management is yet another thing on my list, along with PAM, etc. So now I'm struggling. $Gran Fabricante uses Google Workspace Corporate Dictate. I suddenly had the bright idea to start a Google Meet with $Mike and have him do a screen share so I can coach him. Bob even used the same password for a lot of admin function. Yes, I'm changing them as I find them, so maybe I can do an admin login by guessing the password once I can see the guy's screen. $Me, okay, so click on screen share icon down in the lower center of the Google Meet window. $Mike, I don't see it. $Me is the little up arrow in a box next to the hand icon. $Mike, I don't know what that is. $Me, hold on a sec, let me do this. I screenshot the whole toolbar at the bottom of the Meet window and then share my screen and show him. $Mike, oh okay. Pause. Now what? $Me, in that pop-up screen, pick entire screen in the upper right. $Mike, I don't see that. $Me, what really? I screenshot the pop-up window and add an arrow pointing to entire screen. I share my screen and show him that. $Mike, I don't have that. $Me, wait, what pops up? $Mike, a screen, but I can click share or cancel. $Me, there aren't 3 tabs across the top. Chrome tab, window, and entire screen. $Mike, oh, yeah, entire screen. $Me, great, just click that and then pick screen 1. $Mike, I don't know how to do that. Mind you, this whole time I can see him via his webcam and he's looking all over the place but not always at his screen. Me, okay, Mike, let me think for a minute, let's. Then, finally, problem #3, the biggest one of all, crops up. Mike hangs up his phone, gets up from his computer and walks away. I'm astonished. What's going on? I call him back. No answer. Of course, he has no sense, so he can't hear me via the computer. I stay on the Google Meet 10 more minutes, then hang up. I walk down to the engineering group. Me, hey, so yeah, I was just on the horn with Mike and we were having a hard time doing some fairly basic stuff. Engineering director, oh, that's Mike, he's brilliant at what he does, but he had kind of a mental breakdown about a year or so ago. Major depression, hospitalization, he hasn't been very right since. Me, channeling Andy in 40-year-old version, you think? Engineering director, he told me he was in the hospital last week even. Yeah, he has a hard time doing really basic tasks. Me, well, he hung up the phone and just walked away mid-sentence. I have no clue what's going on. Engineering director, yeah, he does that. I tried so hard not to eye roll. Come on, man. Don't you think that if you have an employee that can't respond to instructions, you'd at least give your IT folks a heads up? Engineering director works out with Mike last week that this week he will fly here to our US HQ in the Midwest so we can sort his shit out. They haven't seen Mike in a while, anyway, good to get some FaceTime. Except, Mike basically went off-grid. Didn't respond to engineering director, and then Monday finally surfaces with a litany of excuses involving his meds and the airline, etc. Me, so he's coming tomorrow? Wednesday. Engineering director, shrugging. Last week passed and no Mike at the HQ. I think the next communication with Mike is going to be we're shipping you a prepaid box, please put all your company shit in it and take it to the UPS store and we'll send you your final paycheck once we receive your undamaged equipment. Probably not precisely that, for labor and wage reasons, but you get the drift. So yeah, I've done a lot of tech support in the last 30 years. That's my first time experiencing a guy with an honest-to-God mental illness that prevents him from responding accurately to questions, or, acting like an adult. Update, supposedly Mike will be here at the mothership tomorrow. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes legal problems require illegal solutions, by user Scriber Woken. I'm back at it again with yet another story from my days doing call center tech support at a major American cable provider. This one takes place sometime between the first and second stories I shared from my time at that particular job. During my time working in the rectum of the American telecom industry, I seemed to be a magnet for all of the weird edge case issues. I enjoyed this because these calls were intellectually stimulating. Management hated it because they had corporate breathing down their necks about making sure everyone was following the standardized processes. Meanwhile, the one autistic dude who watched way too many House and Diva runs growing up kept getting all the weird calls those standardized processes don't account for. This is one of those calls. So this call occurred around June or July of 2022 and was from a customer whose Wi-Fi randomly stopped working on his old 2M-1 modem/router combo unit right after he migrated from a legacy plan to an up-to-date package. I ended up pulling up his modem, saw that it was only provisioned to act as a modem, and was locked into bridge mode. This was a relatively common call with a pretty straightforward cause, which was the case here. Even if a customer had a 2M-1 unit, they had to pay the router rental fee in order to actually have the routing functions enabled. Otherwise, it would just be locked into bridge mode, and sometimes the router rental fee would kind of fall off the account during migrations from a legacy plan to an updated one. I started explaining this to the customer, and he was fairly understanding as to there being occasional hiccups with the migration process, but he had one question. But why is this happening if I have my own modem? Turns out, the modem he was using was one that he purchased himself. Turns out, the legacy company he originally signed up with not only used off-the-shelf equipment, they used retail models. Turns out, his modem incorrectly got flagged as an ISP-provided modem instead of a customer-owned modem somewhere along the line. This is bad. This is really fucking bad. This is the oh god, I have to be the bearer of news that could get us sued kind of bad. You see, the FCC had recently banned ISPs from charging customers equipment rental fees if they were using their own equipment, and 2 other big players in the cable internet industry had just been fined for just that. We had effectively locked the router part of that customer's 2M-1 modem/router combo behind a rental fee. 2M-1 modem/router combo unit that he purchased himself at Best Buy some 10 years prior. I'm not sure if the fact that this was an act of incompetence rather than malfeasance would have helped our case. Thankfully, he was fairly understanding when I explained that there was an error on our part and that his modem was incorrectly flagged in our system, likely because we used to rent out the same model of modem to customers in his area. I then put him on hold to reach out to someone on our L2 support team to see if we could get this corrected. After reaching out to an L2 rep and explaining the issue to them, I was informed that the particular kind of incorrect flagging was a known issue. Apparently, during a migration from one billing system to another, any third-party modems used by customers from upstate New York were incorrectly flagged as a specific model of ISP-provided modem, rather than the generic model number used for third-party modems. I was also informed that this cannot be corrected. The only solution was for him to purchase a new modem. I then passed this information along to the customer and also let him know that the modem he was using would have to be replaced anyways if he wanted to get the download speed he had been upgraded to when migrating to the newer package. Again, he was very understanding, but he informed me that it would be a few days before he'd be able to actually get out to the store to purchase a new modem, and asked if there was any way he could get his modem put back into router mode in the meantime. I informed him that the only way to do that would be to apply the router rental fee to his account, which I would have preferred not to do, as that would be both against policy and illegal for us to charge the rental fee to someone who isn't actually renting equipment from us. At this point, he clearly just wanted to be able to use a wireless connection again, so he insisted on just having the fee applied for the next few days until he can get a replacement for his old modem. I gave in, applied the fee, and informed him that since his bill is prorated, he will be charged about 16 or 17 cents per day that the fee is on his account. I also reiterated that he really should replace the old modem as soon as possible, and told him to call in to have the router rental fee removed when he does. I think I made a note to check his account a couple of days later to make sure he actually did replace the modem and get the rental fee removed, but unfortunately things ended up being too busy for me to do that. Honestly, looking back, I'm not sure if I did the right thing applying that fee to his account, but considering it was the stopgap solution to his problem, and he did ask me to apply the fee, I figured it was okay just that one time, so long he did call in about getting the fee removed in a timely manner. New freezer Who Dis? By user the Grim Coder. We had a new freezer built and installed in one of our buildings at work. This freezer can connect to the internet, which allows you to monitor temps and control settings. To connect this to the manufacturer's website, the freezer is supposed to provide you with a code. It was not providing our director of maintenance the code on Friday. We spoke Friday afternoon and decided to look at it Monday morning. I received an email this morning from him and replied as follows. Juam, the freezer generated the code I needed this morning. I do not need your assistance for now. Please and thank you. Me awesome, I guess it was just a little bit frozen. To say I'm proud of this moment would be an understatement.